and not die for a good amount of time, that Mage Crater is going to bring them a huge mid-game spike. Same with that Basco, same with that Mara. So I think they'll be able to hold over if they just play a little safe. That's Cerulean pick, actually. I know Otzi had been playing it a while ago.
Oh,
It's Cerulean Glad,
yeah.
and other teams are starting to pick it up, and it's no surprise that Don Lu saw that and was like, hey, I can do that too. Because Don Lu has an account entirely devoted to playing Cerulean. So
Does
that
he
is
really?
no surprise. Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
know
pretty
that. I
sure
know
at
he's
one
he's
point-
played a lot of Gladiator Mara, so melee Gladiator is nothing new for Don Lu. I'm a huge fan of Gladiator Cerulean. It's one of my favorite shapers and roles to play, so I'm definitely familiar with how potent that could be. Ooh, what announcer should we go with this game?
I was using Zalgus last game. I'm just like using all the announcer packs I wish I had. So
Yeah, I know. Let's do Kagan. He's not in the game, so it makes sense for him to be announcing it.
But I definitely do like the Ronin pick is interesting because that W can get through a lot of the CC that Based has. You know, he can W the Volix slow pretty well. He can W the Calm Q if he does it fast enough. Cerulean Flip, I think, and the Mina Fear. The one thing that Spirit Side does need to be careful of, though, is that if they put Renzo with Ronin, and that lane goes against Varian and Calm, Ronin doesn't have good wave clear early, and Renzo has no wave clear early. So that lane's going to get pushed in really quickly, which means that Ronin's going to potentially lose a lot of farm, and that base can go for a buff invade on the second rotation, which is incredibly dangerous because it usually leads to a fight that will lead in the favor of one team, and that will lead to Parasite, and that will lead to a team gaining a very strong lead.
Yeah, that's how those advantages can snowball out of control early on in these games. The other thing to keep in mind, though, if they do push Ronin and Renzo back to their binding, it leaves them very vulnerable to a Basco gank, and Renzo can complement that gank really well by landing one of his kinetic sculptures, landing that stun, and then they should be able to chase down any kills or at least burn a blink. So, you know, it's strong to deny farm and play very aggressively like that. But you do have to be aware of the risks you take for doing that. And once again, these early tailwinds out of the base as soon as everybody buys, just so they can get that early positioning.
Clearing a path.
Yeah, we could definitely also see Spirit Side doing the same thing, that pushing them in with that Desecrator, and remember that Desi EQ can clear an entire wave. So we'll see how that plays out. We see both teams going on opposite sides of the map, going for a full 5-minute invade. Ronin on Spirit Side being a little more behind than the rest of his team.
Open your heart.
So both teams looking like they really did want to fight this level 1 as 5. They wouldn't mind running into each other. I know Based wouldn't. They've got Cerulean, Mina. They've got a pretty good level 1. And
Let's see, does Cerulean does have Impale. King of Masks leveled up Captivate, the Curse of Weakness on Volek. Mina's got Key to the Heart ready to go. So they can definitely force something with that team comp level 1.
yeah, Based is out for blood right now. We might see a late power buff invade coming out from base, or a late haste invade. That might be what this is.
So they're not even aware.
Straight blood. They don't even care that there's a free buff there. They're gonna walk through the towers, which they do not have vision of. They know where they are right now.
Oh no, the Vanquish was early, and Yagachu steals it with his Vanquish. So High's initial invade goes poorly. They lose the buff, but they lose a life as well. It's going to be even worse, and they will. First blood goes to Ghosty. Yagachu gets the Vanquish, and the experience from that kill allows him to get level 2, and now he can just do this armor buff without any contesting from the Spirit side.
Yeah, base got more than what they expected there by, like, process of deduction. They assumed, okay, they're out of power buff. They didn't even have a ward on it. They straight up just walked in. Like, Bolek Yagachu knew that he was doing the power buff, and he just walked in hoping for the Vanquish. So Basco now has to do this haste buff alone. He's going to take a lot of damage from it. And he's going to be jungling pretty slowly for a while.
Ooh, Elated gets caught out on a bit of CC, uses Flourish to get out of trouble. Good trade for the double melee lane up in top lane. interested to see Donlu's loadout. He does have a movement speed loadout, so no surprise there. Donlu and Yagachu, both fans of the percentage move speed loadouts, as you can see. Yagachu taking his percentage move speed loadout. Ooh, Merc gets caught by a key to the heart and an impale, but that's going to be it. But yeah, as I was saying, Donlu and Yagachu with that 5% bonus move speed in their loadout pages, giving them that extra mobility, an extra way to just close the gap.
So I don't think Ronan is too upset here right now. He's just free farming under the tower. He likes where the wave is right now, and this freeze is just going to let him keep farming up. And Cerulean and Mina, although it's a very divey, you know, lane combination, they really can't do much.
Uh-oh, Yagachu catches Basco in the jungle. He tries to onslaught away, but Yagachu finishes him. So Basco having a really rough go of it early on in the jungle here. Yagachu firmly ahead now, taking buffs, getting kills, just wreaking havoc on Basco. Gonna be a real slow go until he gets level 6.
Yeah, no surprise Yagachu out for blood in that jungle, knowing that Basco got a really slow start, knowing that he got a buff ahead early before Basco even got to finish his first buff, just meant that he had such a huge advantage. He could walk into the jungle and not really care about it. You also see that Spirit Side doesn't have the best wards out right now. They really have no way of tracking where Yagachu is in the jungle, while Based has very deep wards that lets them see Basco's every single move at all his buffs.
Going this way. Cover me.
The kinetic sculpture lands and the onslaught, but key to the heart should dispel the rest of this gank. Donlu gets taken down kind of low. We'll see if he hangs out. Does he have any? Oh no, now another little skirmish up underneath the binding here in top lane. Shivy and Elated doing some nice trading, still very healthy, while the melee shapers are struggling a bit.
Yeah, I think they're just playing a little too far forward. It's the same thing we saw last game with the Mage Jesse. I think it's the same lane too. Or no, it's not, they had Sakari. But you have to just clear the wave and back off, because once you use your abilities to clear the wave, your trading potential is gone. So there's no reason to be so far up, because you're going to take a lot of unnecessary damage. So Yagachu just hit that level 6 mark, and we can see Basco.
Oh, the kinetic sculpture comboed with on the house pick up Donlu as he was trying to be. I guess he was a little bit greedy, trying to stay in range of XP and Vim here in the bottom lane, but he falls for it.
Take a look. Clearing a path. Bastards. Keep up.
So far we've seen this Ronan go untouched. He's been able to do what he wants. He just wants to farm up. Rest of the team is just trying to hold up as well as they can until Ronan finally hits the power spike. And then Heim might have a really good chance of winning these fights.
Oof. Based just kind of having their way with the top lane here. They know Basco's behind and he can't really come. And even though they're pushed up very far, they know they don't have to worry too much about Basco. Valak is now here, maybe looking for the dive. He's level 7, so he will just look to be running under the binding here and popping that damnation. They get the empowered captivate, the chaos shell, and the sentinel strike finishes the job. A nice coordinated gank from Based. Basco just trying to avoid running into any unpleasant fellows as he's still only level 4. Now Based looks to snowball even further by taking this early parasite here at about 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I don't even think Basco should waste so much time walking around. He should just be doing these mushroom camps as much as he can, clearing all those small camps, and just don't bother walking around, because there's nothing a level 4 Basco can really provide for his team right now. He just needs to hit that level 6 point so he has that extra ultimate for his teammates.
Mm-hmm. The kinetic sculpture from Renzo interrupting Mina's combination, or her key to the heart in and out. Oh, the impale comes down onto Merc. Here's Volek with the Curse of Weakness, the damnation ticking away. The stun goes out. Renzo is trying to shield himself. Will he be able to get away? But a nice key to the heart, and the Shore's calling finishes the job. Nice
Base-
use of chaining that CC together.
Yeah, Based really set up a composition for having a lot of chain CC to set up for that Volek. It's very similar to what SG does when Cuss runs Volek, because they usually have that Mara and that Zalgus. In this game, they've got the Volek flip, or the Cerulean flip. They've got the Zalgus or the Calm Captivate. They've got the Mina Fear. They've got a lot of ways to set up a game for Yagachu.
Dawnlu and Ghosty just kind of clearing the wave, looking to go back and shop now. Maybe we'll get a quick look at the items once the action kind of calms down a bit. I just want to keep things around or open for right now because Basco is lurking. They have vision of him though, so I don't think he's going to be ganking. See, Yagachu has his might and a desire. Elated has a early growth and a clarity, maybe working on that duress and a rebirth. Dawnlu has his motion and a might as well. Shivy has already finished his ambition over on the high team. Kel'Thez has a might on Desecrator. Ooh, Marabuto's here, and so is Basco. Maybe looking for a gang.
Base is doing a really good job of attacking and walking out of that tower range before it hits them.
Oh, and there we go. Here's the engage. The Tailwind comes out. Toxic Explosive trying to get out, uses the ultimate, but he dies mid-animation. They pick up another kill. Base does, and Yagachu will just continue to have his way with this jungle. Oh no, Elated gets caught out a bit underneath the binding, but Tailwind's to safety through the Death Fog. Here comes Yagachu on the backside. Desecrator tries to get out, but he's going to be unsuccessful. Mara will fall as well. Shivy picks up the double kill.
That's the way, mate.
Bring 'em on. Need a light.
Yeah, Spirited seems to be having a really hard time keeping track of where Based is right now, because I think they walked in expecting a 3v2, but Yagachu was just waiting for them in the jungle.
I never get tired of seeing that.
I feel like if Spirited tried to go a little deeper.
Ronin has to use Blink to get away from the Shore's Calling. A nice masterpiece from Renzo will continue that disengage. Almost caught Ronin out there. At least forced his Blink. Oh, the aggressive Blink from Ghosty and Dawnlu. The deflect comes down as well, but Toxplosive is here, so they pick up Mina and probably Cerulean here. Unbreakable lands. Uh-oh, here comes Yagachu, though. He says, no, leave my Cerulean alone. He gets stunned. Toxplosive gets flipped back with the Impale, and the chase is on now. They're chasing down the Spirit side. Can Basco escape? He cannot. Yagachu picks up one more, and he wants an additional one, but here comes top lane from Spirit side down to rotate and try and prevent any further dives. So almost a nice pick from Spirit side, but Yagachu is just so far ahead right now. He's worth about 2 or maybe 3 of the Spirit side Shapers right now based on items and experience.
Yeah, I don't even think Spirit side has hit one legendary item yet. So Base has a very big advantage on them right now.
Quick peek at the items. Fendralin does have his ambition, so the legendary item is there, even though it's the cheapest one. One of the cheapest.
Yep.
This binding doesn't look long for this world. Base is going to take it. They have both tier 1 bindings down. Elated in a bit of trouble here, gets stunned by the onslaught, tries to pop Tailwind, but a nice stun comes down from Renzo, but the Mina key to the heart and the finale try to dispel this fight, but it won't be enough. Yagachu here, Damnation kicking away. Renzo's masterpiece knocks everyone up, and High will escape, just trading 1 for 1.
Yeah, Elated not being afraid this game to put himself in a very forward position. You've seen him be almost caught multiple times now.
Base looks to take another Parasite here. Getting 2 Parasites at tier 1. That's a nice big chunk of extra
took
Vim.
out the Parasite.
Just to take their advantage a little bit higher.
You are doing it all wrong.
Looks like Based is going to go and try and continue to starve this Basco out, maybe making a beeline for that armor buff. They have the timers on it. Shivy's got his Pain, Ghosty's got his Pestilence. Elated picks up a Corruption. That's a Mortal Strike item you don't see a whole lot of, but I do like it.
Yeah, that haste comm has gotten very popular with some people. You can see he's just stacking those cheap tier 2 haste items before getting this corruption. You just get as much cooldown reduction as possible.
Oh, the Endless Delights get the fear off, but Shivy and Elated are by themselves against 4 members of Team High. Those are that's not the numbers advantage they want. Yagachu is close. They don't want to get caught out. Elated's going to get stunned here after landing the Empowered Captivate, but Basco doesn't really have enough to get in Variant's face.
Man, Elated has such short cooldowns right now. He has 36% cooldown reduction. That just increases their playmaking ability so much because they can just set up for more and more of those Volek dives.
Elated just showing no fear with those flourishes, just aggressively sliding into all the members of High, throwing down his abilities and then just skating back out. He's a greasy King of Masks. Oh no, they captured Ghosty a little bit, but he uses Key to Heart to escape, and a beautiful finale from Elated. Traps 4 members of Team High. Now the chase is on, and a nice disengaged masterpiece, but Vendrelin picks up Varian as he, oh no, and here's the Shore's calling. Desecrator is forced to blink back. The deflect comes down as well. Elated is here. Pops Tailwind. The drain is on the Desecrator. I don't think he's going to survive. High Toxic Explosive goes in onto Elated with Uprising, but Dawnlu shows up on the backside with Damnation. They're going to trade 2 for 1 in favor of Team Based, but that could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, Ronan positioned really well and kited back, and that's what High needed to do with their composition, and they did it very well until Basco decided to ult in. I feel like they might have been able to not have the Basco death and maybe pick off 1 more kill if they kept kiting backwards into their turret. Because Base did not look like they wanted to stop that fight.
They took too long.
I mean, that was pretty wild.
Mortal Gang stole a whale.
Catching those members out, but Elated on his way out was able to throw down that finale, which really just allowed Base to turn that fight. But you know, Vendrelin on Ronin, quietly 4-0. He's got 88 CS, so he is behind, but that's just by nature of how his lane's going. But he's made up for it with 4 kills, so he is all the, I mean, it was kind of the way the comp looked when they were picking it. It's kind of like, let's just protect the Ronin and just get in people's faces and cause disruption. And they're doing a good job of that. And this game keeps continuing to go long. Uh-oh. Yagachu doing a nice job of using Elated as bait, and they pick up Basco once again. Ronin does fall now. And now the focus is on Damaro. They continue the fight, but Desecrator lays down some CC, but a blink from Dawnlu coupled with an Impale will allow Yagachu to pick up another kill.
Well, well, well.
Yeah, right now Base is just diving in and out of towers as they please. They're just waiting for this 18-minute mark to get the Parasite with the HP regen buff, and then push out and try to like close the game.
Wow. I feel for this Basco. He's been behind all game. He's trying to make plays, but Base just has an answer for everything that he wants to do. It's like they're predicting his movements. There's the masterpiece from Renzo to try to save his life, but Base is just too far ahead right now.
I'm no understudy. Take a look.
I never get tired of seeing that.
Right now, I feel like all that High can do is try to ward save. I guess Basco could try to go for a Parasite steal if he's really feeling it, but if not, they just need to get that Ronin farmed up as much as possible, get his 3 core items, and then he might be able to help High stall out a little longer.
Now we're really starting to see the item advantage in Based's favor as Donlu has a Decay and a Justice to go along with Motion, so he's going to be a super speedy Cerulean.
Oh
Shivy has finished his Ruin to go along with the Pain and Ambition. Ghosty's picked up a Balance and a Discipline. Elated has his Duress. Yagachu has his Decay and a Conquest. Team High not looking quite as rich right now. Kel'Thuz only has the Decay. Based going for another Parasite here. And that's really all the items to speak of. Fenderlin has a Pain, Merc has a Prosperity, but they are very behind.
Took out the Parasite.
Yeah, Donlu really loves those motions on his bruisers. Regardless of what he's playing, if he's playing Tetris, really just loves building motion and trying to extend his lead. Base forcing an economy difference right now due to how well they've been handling wells and all of these objectives. I was about to say that I wish High had tried to backdoor at least one of the 2 wells on base side while they were doing that Parasite. I feel like it could help them out a lot to stay in this game.
They're certainly playing on their heels right now. They have Tailwind initiate. They're going big underneath this diving. Everyone's using abilities. Damnation ticking away. High is dropping like flies. Merc trying to escape along with Desecrator, but Merc's gonna fall. Desi on the run back to his binding, or his Locust, but Yagachu picks him up, and that is a clean sweep for Base.
How long?
Yeah, Base got exactly what they wanted. Mina was able to land a 3 or 4 man ultimate to Bullock being able to get on top of everybody on High. At that point, the fight was basically over.
That's the last of the Spirit Gang. They took too long. Now their binding's gone.
This Cockett announcer is great.
Oh, I just have the default one on it.
Those little rhymes. So Based is going to take this game. Maybe Team High tries to fight. Oh, there's still 1 core left. Do you think Base stay? Nah, I think Base is just going to take this core and maybe try. Nope, they still want to fight. They're still strong enough. Donlu is level 16. He's trying to 1v5. They're trying to lock him down, but they can't. Mara goes in, but she's going to melt instantly. The Masterpiece and Finale go off in concert with one another, but Merc is going to fall. Based is just too big, too strong, too far ahead. On to Toxplosive. He gets Shore's Calling and impaled. Yagachu gets locked up in the CC, but that's going to be all she wrote for Team High. Base takes this game.
Only fools.
Yeah, Base really redeeming themselves after that loss to DI. A lot of people were like, oh, then they're just solo queue players. You know, they can't play well as a team. But this game, they showed that they have really well coordinated